Hi everyone. Today I want to talk about Zerocode Scenario Helper plugin. So if you use Zerocode Test Automation Framework, and if you also happen to use Intelij IDE by JetBrains, you also might be interested to know about Zerocode Scenario Helper plugin. So I installed the plugin. So the way you install it is if you go to settings, you go to plugin, and if I type Zerocode, um, it will show up, and it's grayed out. The installed button is grayed out because I already installed it. So in your case, if you're using it first time, in that case, it will not be grayed out and you will be able to install it. So let's actually now discuss the features. The first feature is the keyword suggestion. As you know, in Zerocode, we have this scenario file. So I have just some random scenario here in JSON. You can also have in YAML file. And each scenario contains some keywords, right? For example, this scenario name, the steps, these are all keywords that Zerocode can understand, the framework can understand. So if I start writing scenario name, as I write, you see that it gives me some suggestions. So if I click it, it will autocomplete it, right? So let me do this for method. So if I start typing, it gives me the suggestion. So when I click tab or enter, I'm using Windows, by the way, it autocompletes it, right? So it makes things easier and faster. So first feature is autocompletion. When you start typing the keywords, it will suggest you some predefined keywords of Zerocode, and it will also autocomplete. The next feature is schema validation. In Zerocode, there are, as I said, predefined keywords. So, for example, in this step, if I remove this URL, it will show this error, this red sign, right? So if I click it, it tells me that step 1, and this step is, the index is 1 because we start from 0. So this is step 0, this is step 1. It tells me that step 1 URL is missing. So it told me that, hey, in this case, you need to have a URL. So this scenario file is validated against a predefined schema which checks if your scenario file is okay. So let's say if I missed E here, right? I misspelled scenario name. It told me that scenario name is missing, but it is required. So it tells me that, hey, there is something wrong you need to fix. And it also tells me where to fix, right? As it told me in the URL that I need to fix in step 1. So the second feature is schema validation. As you type, your scenario file is validated against predefined schema to find the mistakes before you even run scenarios. The third feature is navigation support. As you see, we have a green triangle here, right? And it tells me to, let's wait a couple of seconds, navigate to test class. In Zerocode, each scenario corresponds to some test class, some Java class. So we have, for example, the test class for this file. We have it here. If I go to REST, book endpoint, we specify the scenario file name here. So obviously, let's say I don't have this open, this class, and I want to navigate to the class which references the scenario file. What should I do? Well, I can also obviously right-click the file and search, but that takes a lot of time, right? So instead of that, what we can do is to click this triangle, which plugin puts, and boom, it navigates us to the corresponding Java class, which references our scenario. So it makes the navigation easier. So this is one thing. The second thing is that, as you can see, we have a step file here, which references some JSON file, right? So we go to reusable content and JWT login step, we have this step externalized, and we reference that step in our scenario, right? Now there are many reasons why you might want to do it. In this case, I basically use this step in many scenario files, and obviously I don't want to rewrite it in every place, so that's why I have it written in different places, and I just reference them in step files. But how would you find this file, right? Obviously we can go to this folder as we did and find it, but sometimes it might be a little bit time consuming. So plugin enables you to hold control. So I'm using again Windows. So I'm holding control now, and if I hover it, it changes to a link, right? So if I click it, it takes me to the step file. Again, so I'm holding control, and then I just click it, and it takes me to the corresponding JSON file. So if we have other JSON or XML files referenced outside the scenario, it will take us there. So it makes it easier to navigate. And third thing is that, as you might know, in Zerocode we can execute utility methods of Java classes, right? For example, in this case, we're executing a square method of method exec class. So plugin again helps us here. If we hold control and click this class, it will take us to the corresponding class. So we don't have to find it manually. We can the plugin can help us to navigate. So this is the feature number 3, and the fourth feature is what I call template step generation. So if I right click here, for example, or any place, it doesn't really matter. If I scroll down, I know that you will see this add Zerocode step template option, right? And it gives us some multiple options. Let's go choose add rest step, and let's choose post, for example. So at the end of the steps, it generated a template step, a skeleton code basically, right? And it specified that the method is post because we chose the post method. It specified some request and the empty body, and it also specified the verify block, which has a status 201. So in other words, it generated a skeleton template step, and we just need to fill this, right? We don't have to type these keywords by ourselves. The plugin generated it for us, so it makes things super fast, and you need less effort. We can also generate, I don't know, maybe Kafka step produce, and it generates the minimalistic skeleton step that we just need to now fill in, right? It saves us time. So this is 4 features that the plugin has, and it also written here in the description. If we go to version, the latest version is 1.0.0, and this version is paid one. I made it paid because it helps me to work on the plugin and add new features, etc. So there is a monthly subscription and yearly subscription. Also, I also have a course on Zerocode. So if you want to learn Zerocode automation testing framework, in that case, you can take this course. It will teach you all the major things about Zerocode. All right, that's all what I wanted to say for now. I'll see you in the next one.